Hey Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel where it's all Juve all the time. I'm Alberto and I'm going to bring you all the latest surrounding La Vecchia Signora to June 10th. What's on tap? Well, here's what's on tap. We've got the latest on Federico Chiesa and his recovery process and him speaking out about the recovery process. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to get into all the latest Mercado rumblings surrounding our targets, which include Morata, Kostic, Di Maria, and Paul Pogba. We'll talk about today's updates on all those players. And then we're going to get into the latest rumblings surrounding our veteran center back. Let's go. All right, Juventini, friendly reminder to like the video and subscribe to the channel. All right, it's all appreciated, but most of all, enjoy the content, which we hope you do. Now, let's get into it. So, Federico Chiesa speaking out about his injury and saying, hey, he's got to respect the table that the medical staff, which has been great in helping him, and just take his time and remain patient. But he specifically said, I think I'll be back by September. So that is massive, massive news for us, as it was slated that it would be late October. And then, of course, with the World Cup being in November, we might not have actually seen him in action for us until 2023 portion of the season. So this is big, big news. A lot closer in timelines to what myself and I know Alex P, if you're watching, you and I were both saying he should be back much sooner. So there you have it. Thinks he'll be back by September, and that's massive for Juventus. Will it play any part in the Mercado, and will they back off of potentially some options that they were going to go after, thinking that he could be back by September? I still don't think that's a risk Juventus wants to take. And I think ultimately they still want to see Chiesa through and make 175% sure he is fully recovered, so that there is no risk of re-aggravation and hurting himself again, because that would be a huge, huge blow, as he still has so much career ahead of him and looks to be one of our untouchables for a long, long time. So that's the latest on Federico Chiesa. Some great news that we're kicking it off from, that he should be back sooner than expected. Now, let's get into the latest on our Mercado rumblings, and we've got Morata. It is said today that Morata is going to be renewing with Atletico Madrid until 2024 and then coming back to Juventus on loan. So that's the latest right now, is that look for Alvaro Morata to get another loan with Juventus, and then we'll have to wait for what the options are come the end of that term. But it looks like Morata should be remaining for another year loan. Now, let's get to the latest on Ranocchia, our youngster. So Lecce and Empoli are inquiring about Ranocchia, and he should be going out on loan. So expect Ranocchia to be heading out on loan. Now, we get into Kostic. We talked about Kostic yesterday, 3-year agreement reached with Juventus apparently, and Frankfurt was still pushing to get his signature. It is being reported today Kostic has rejected any renewal from Frankfurt. So 15 to 20 million is the magic number. So he has rejected a renewal from Frankfurt. Great news for Juventus on their target. Now we move on to Di Maria. Di Maria still very much in play, apparently, and apparently it's in the Italian club's hands at 1 year, but 9 million euro salary for him. But there are reports that Juventus could release him after 13 months in order to take advantage of the growth decree. But this is very, very interesting. I think it's at a point where Juventus has to just commit to that 1 year at that high number, or just back off completely and start looking elsewhere. But in terms of reports, they're still circulating, so it could very much be alive. Barcelona, we heard about the Barcelona links and where those stood, but apparently Barcelona is looking at Rafinha. So yeah, Di Maria is still very much in play in most journalists' eyes. So we wait to see what happens on that. Now, let's take a look at Gatti. So Federico Gatti for Juventus. Apparently, all the chatter that's being reported today circulating around Gatti is all positive, and everyone's saying that he is ready to be at Juventus. So look for Gatti next season at Juve. And it's also being reported that Mancini, head coach of the Azzurri, will be using him in a couple of the next Nations League games. He was slated to use him in the last one against Hungary. I'm not sure what ended up happening. I was very excited to see him, but he went with Bastoni and Mancini. So we wait to see if that actually takes fruition. So that's the latest on Gatti. Now we get into Paul Pogba. So the latest on Paul Pogba, it's being reported that he is waiting on Zidane's decision, and if Zidane's future is tied to PSG. But that's also been contradicted this morning by Nico Schira, who's saying that PSG hasn't had any contacts whatsoever with Paul Pogba for over a month now, and that they've been completely out of the picture for a while. He also goes further in saying that it is only down to the details for his return to Juventus. So a lot of people putting their stake in saying Pogba is a done deal. So that's the latest contradiction to reports. So you're going to hear both waves. So if you heard that he's waiting for Zidane's decision, relax. Apparently, it's still a done deal with Juve. So there's the latest on Paul Pogba. And then last but certainly not least, we got some rumblings coming out and circulating around Juve's camp that Leonardo Bonucci has been told he will not be a main starter next season at Juventus. So this is pretty big. I fully expected him to take over Chiellini's role this season, which is playing your part whenever you can here and there. Probably a little bit more faith in bigger matches put with Chiellini rather than Bonucci, but Bonucci should be used the same. But that can't happen unless Juventus strengthens their center back situation. So they're still going to have to make a move there at center back. So we wait to see what happens there. And we're getting close as we're 5 days away from the Demiral deadline, basically, for Atalanta. So we wait to see what develops at center back. But apparently Bonucci told he will be used sparingly, almost like Chiellini was this season. So that's the latest on the news surrounding Juventus to June 10th. I hope you like this update video. At least we got some great positive news about Federico Chiesa and his recovery process, but you guys know the drill. I lay it out for you to play it out. Let me know your comments, thoughts, opinions, questions on everything you heard today surrounding Juventus. And don't forget, this weekend on Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, we are live with a fantastic guest, okay? A very, very talented content creator in the Juventus world and actually world football. And he's great. And we look forward to him making his debut on the channel. So make sure you're live with us on Sunday and get all your questions in on the massive Mercato Madness Storm the Barn session. Ciao tutti. Enjoy your Friday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Fino alla fine. Forza Juve. Ciao.